How you doing? Welcome back. This is Winders Ranger coming back with a video request from a gentleman named Chris. Chris, I apologize for taking so long to get this video out to you. Been pretty busy with summer vacation and all the video media that I got from that and the editing that it's taken to try to get all that put together and at least organized. I did promise you that I'd make a video on this and hope this answers your question. And what Chris was asking was about a specific type of haircut that I guess is popular from wherever he's from. And the way he described it to me, I tried to do some research to see if I could find out what this type of haircut is called. And the best that I can find is that it's lack of a better term, a modified high and tight is what it sounds like. Basically what he's asking, what he wanted to see was the top of the crown of your scalp cut all to one length, and then to zero or maybe even shaved on the sides with basically an even line all the way around the top edge where the transition is from the shave to the whatever was cut to that length. I think what I would do is I would start with the regular trimmers, and I would run the thumb guide out as far as it would go to get me the depth that I'm looking for. And if that depth isn't quite what we're wanting, we want something a little deeper than that, then I would probably go to one of the plastic guides and put on top of there to get the depth that I'm looking for. And I would let my hair grow out a little longer than what this is for that purpose. And then I would go ahead and cut everything, past where that line's going to be to that depth or that height where you want it at. And then I would come along behind with probably the beard trimmer would be my recommendation. And I would go along, I would find a visual reference of where I want that line to be. Everybody's scalp is a little bit different. In my case, I think I would use the hairline on the front here, and I'd go along this edge, and I'd keep it right about there. I think the back, of course, is going to be a little difficult because you can't see the back as easily, trying to line that up. And then coming along the other side at the same height. And what you can do is you look in the mirror, you may even take the clippers, come into the mirror and give yourself a couple of reference points just so you can make sure you got it where you want it, and just kind of buzz it along in there. And that way you can match the sides so they're both level to the height on both sides. So one side is not going to be lopsided from the other. And once I get that to where I want it, I'd come along, change the direction from here to here 90 degrees and come along that edge, and then I just work my way down and then work my way up and work my way across over here so everything evens up correctly. Chris also asked about shaving the sides. I think if I was to shave the sides, it would probably be easiest to use something like an electric beard trimmer. And with something like this, you can go along the sides and just kind of use circular motions as you go along. And you can come back with this every day, every other day to clean the sides up and keep the length where you want it to be. And then when the top gets long enough, you decide you want to go ahead and cut everything back to the same length again. The sides may or may not need to be done at that point, but you can always touch them up with a beard trimmer. Specifically, he asked if I would do the video with a straight razor, cutting the sides. I think he saw my straight razor in the background of one of the earlier videos. That's the straight razor. And I can tell you, it's a cheaper model. It's not super expensive. But, let's see, who was made by, probably going to pronounce this wrong, Solinger. It's a German blade. And I'm here to tell you that thing is sharp. I don't know if I trust myself completely to go along the sides and not cut myself. Even though it's sharp, it does tend to pull a little bit, and there's a certain amount of getting used to how that thing cuts as opposed to a straight razor, or a safety razor rather. I think if I was to do the sides and I really wanted to use a razor, I would definitely use a safety razor. I don't know that I would want to take a chance on that, because one little slip with the straight razor and you can have a pretty good mess on your hands. It doesn't take much. As long as you go straight, with the blade, you should be okay. Sometimes it may pull enough that you may cut yourself some, but all it would take is just a small flinch or even a sneeze or something at the wrong time, and once that blade moves sideways, I can guarantee you're going to cut yourself, and it's going to cut pretty good depending on how much force you use with that blade. So I think for the purpose of the video, I don't think I'm going to be using that. All due respect, I don't want to turn this into a horror film with blood flying everywhere. So, but what I'll do is I'm getting ready to cut my hair. I'm going to, just to kind of give you an idea, I'm going to do the top in my normal flat top like I normally would, but let's see if we can get something close to what Chris was asking and see how it turns out. Okay, because I'm not going to do the top with the one even height, I'm going to do the modified flat top like I normally would. I'm going to start with the sides. Now this is my first attempt, so just like anybody else, the first time you do it, it's probably not going to be perfect. So bear with me, and we'll see how we can do here. I think something like that is what he's asking. Where now, like I said, I would have already done the top and had that all one length. And then I would just continue this line on around, right around the back. Like I said, I think the back is going to be the toughest part, trying to get that lined up. You can see that it's not quite as clean as what I might like it. One thing you might want to try is to keep this line down a little bit further, and then as you trim it and clean it, work that line up as you go along, you know, slowly working it up higher than where I've got it now, and kind of work that edge in to where you can clean it up to what you're looking for. But I think that's what he's asking. And then of course you could come behind and use, I'm not going to do it here because it's going to, then I'd have to do the whole thing, but if I was to use the trimmers, you know, come in behind and kind of work that in and work all the way around to get that shaved look that you're looking for. Yeah, I guess that's pretty close. And then I would probably use the mirror here. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's see. Try it like that. Kind of hard to tell. The line's not quite as clean there. You could definitely clean that up some more as you go along. One of the difficult things is the muscle memory of how to maneuver or manipulate the trimmers in the mirror, because everything is opposite of what you're doing. So, you know, trying to get it where you want it. It's not too bad, I don't suppose. Then I would just keep going along and clean that back edge up, and then I would come along this side and do the same thing until it meets up with the back there, and then shave all of that. And again, you know, come along with the beard trimmer or something like that, and you can clean this up here and bring that down to 0. I think the beard trimmer, personally, the electric beard trimmer would be the easiest way, the cleanest way to do that. But of course your own preference is up to you, however you'd like to do it. I hope this addresses the question, and if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer you back or to make videos to accommodate the questions. Again, thanks for joining me, and have a great day.